I promised you a rant on the NRA press meeting this morning. First of all, I was so pleased to see my friend Medea Benjamin, and apparently her partner or friend of hers who also, holding up this sign, the NRA has blood on its hands and NRA kills children or killing our children. Somebody needs to speak back to Wayne LaPierre. The NRA is characterizing this as a press conference. The media is calling it a press conference. It was not a press conference. A press conference is where you meet with the press and you answer questions. This was a speech that was widely covered by the press. Wayne LaPierre would not take questions, number one. Number two, what he did do is he spit on the graves of these children as they are being buried. And that's pretty horrific. He blamed everybody except the gun manufacturers, the gun industry, the gun lobbyists, the gun retailers, and the gun nuts, for lack of a better phrase. And in that, I'm not including, when I say gun nuts, I'm not including, rational, reasonable gun owners. I get it. There are people who hunt and are very respectful of their firearms and know how to use them appropriately. And it's a sport for them, and it's a sport that's legal in the United States, and it's part of our tradition. And there are people who do target shooting. And for them, it's a sport, and it's legal in the United States, and there's a long tradition for that too. And I don't have a problem with either one of those things. And there are some people who demonstrably need guns for their job or for self-defense. I don't have a problem with that. But these people who are accumulating 10, 15, 20, 30, 50, assault weapons, the assault weapon clip sales are through the roof right now. Ammunition sales through the roof. I mean, it's like you look at this and you go, what is going on with this? So what did Wayne LaPierre say when he spit on these children's graves? He suggested that the solution to the problem of mass killings. Now, keep in mind, the mass killings we've had in the United States here over the last decade or so have been in a Sikh temple, in movie theaters, on a military base, Fort Hood, in a school where they're, at Columbine, and in a school where there were armed guards in some cases, in other cases. Now, I mean, it's just been all over the map. His solution was to have retired police officers. This is a Walmart solution. Let's turn old men into meat shields. Have retired police officers go back to work, just like Walmart greeters, as armed guards in our schools. Right. This sounds so logical. Schools are chaotic environments. You got kids who are curious, kids who play pranks, kids who, and what? You're gonna have this school defended by some guy who's 70 years old and his hand is shaking as he's pulling his gun out. Even a 25-year-old firearms instructor, a young man, tried to take out a shooter a couple of years ago. In one of the two times in the last decade when a civilian who had a legal gun, a legal concealed weapon, pulled it on a mass shooter. It's happened twice in the last decade. In both cases, what happened? The civilian with the weapon who tried to stop the mass shooting got shot. And the firearms instructor guy got killed. So, yeah, great solution, Wayne LaPierre. Brilliant thinking. Oh, and you want to put armed guards in the Sikh temples, too? And in the movie theaters? We are 5% of the world's population. We have 50% of the world's guns. What we don't need are Walmart greeters with weapons in our schools. Now, I realize some of you are going to call and say Walmart doesn't have greeters anymore. It was too expensive for them. Somebody called me the other day and said that. I don't know if it's true or not. I haven't been in a Walmart in years, so thank goodness there's I don't think there's a single Walmart in Washington, D.C. I've never seen one. Have you, Shano? Of course, neither one of us are natives of the area, or Jim? Apparently not. I don't know, maybe out in the suburbs. But in any case, we got to do something about that. It's the guns, stupid. 5% of the world's population, half the world's guns? Really? You're surprised that we have gun problems?
You're listening to the Thom Hartmann Program. Call 866-987-THOM.
Australia figured this out. They said, that's it. And this was under John Howard, a conservative prime minister. That's it. If you want to have a gun, you have to prove that you need it.